Hello, welcome. Welcome to Streaming Consciousness. My name is Mitchell, and here we are talking about awareness, consciousness, presence. One thing that I find that roots this perspective is a transparency. You most likely have experienced some level of transparency if you're listening to this, and that transparency, if I were to describe it, is seeing through things like personalities and motivations, so many of the human characteristics, looking past personalities, and eventually even looking past the physical world. So transparency is a way of just seeing that all these pieces and bits that seem to be unique, disparate, different, are all one and the same, and that this piece that we call ourselves, our individual, is in fact just a lens of this massive, never-ending one piece of consciousness, of awareness. And then actually, as you go beyond even that, you go into a sense of silence, into a deep, deep quiet. And that silence, that quiet, is the space that is deep and broad enough to contain everything. Right here in this body, we're here to experience. And you know what? I think what's really cool about this is we have drawn ourselves down into such finite a finite number of dimensions. We're down to 3 dimensions, 4 if you include time. There's several others that we can look at, from physics point of view, but we'll stay with these for here and now and this purpose. But when you have this sense of separation, then you are in a place where you've removed your perception of every other dimension of yourself. And so this space of being physical and disparate from the others is a fascinating and wonderful space for deep, broad, powerful creation. And that's what we're here for. We're here to explore the ability to create in a way that we can experience far more tactily. So we are limited to these experiences in a way when we exist here, but as we open up to our larger, broader self, invite this awareness in, we can use that space to create. So we have kind of this membrane through which our awareness can travel between and come up with new, different, amazing ideas, because we are in a place where these ideas can only be experienced within a few dimensions. And so the creative capacity is far more immediate in that our experiencing of these ideas is very personal and tactile. In fact, we have this entire emotional, feeling-based attachment that works with all these bits of our creation. Pardon me, I had a visitor. This is Booga. We have a couple black rescue kitties, and they came to us with the names of Ooga and Booga. So I'm not exactly sure if that's correct. I just call them babies because they are very small. Anyway, Booga wanted to join us in this video, and she's being very affectionate. Another part of what I want to communicate in these streaming consciousness videos are our ability to meditate and come into calmness. And if you look at my other channel, it's just Mitchell. I've gone into depth with a lot of polyvagal work and breath work and mindfulness there. And I'll begin to build a database of that here as well. But for now, anytime that you're watching any of my videos, I'll suggest either in the video itself at the beginning, or you can just come to it on your own, or maybe in the video itself we will do a meditation. But we're going to focus our breath on the basic breath, and that is in and out only through the nose. Tongue is at the roof of the mouth, behind the front teeth. And our exhale is longer than our inhale. If you can do a exhale that's twice as long as the inhale, that's a nice spacing. So it's just a way for the body to come into parasympathetic. And as I've talked about in other videos, our body is sending 4 signals for every 1 signal that the brain can process and have an answer for. So the brain only has 1 answer for every 4 pieces that the body is sending us. I call it the 80-20 because the body is sending signals continuously, multiple, who knows how many thousands of signals come to the mind or the brain. We're going to call it the brain because I feel like the mind is a space that we can use to open up between the body and the body person and the non-physical, your wider consciousness, your awareness. So the mind is more of a directional piece, or a piece that can be directed. It's a piece that is part of your larger self and a part here of this physical piece. So the brain itself is your physiological component that is programmed to keep the body safe. And so when the body is sending up signals to the brain saying we're safe, then the brain finds that it doesn't have a lot to do, and the brain itself can come into calmness far easier. In fact, it's the body that's giving the brain the tools to come into calmness. And so my meditations here are going to be directed by a deeper physiological understanding. They're no different than the meditations that you've been exposed to throughout all time. It's just that maybe your previous understanding of meditation was follow the breath, and that was as far as the instruction went. Or maybe it was, here's a mantra, just hang on to the mantra. And that is a mind based meditation gets the mind to follow a mantra, whereas maybe the follow the breath is a little bit more body based. But we're going to really capitalize on being able to calm the body first and use the whole the parasympathetic, the polyvagal system to bring your entire being, physical being, into meditation, because you're far more than your brain, okay? It isn't about bringing your brain into meditation. It's about being in meditation, putting the entire body into that calmness. So, the basic breath is in and out only through the nose, with an exhale that's longer than the inhale. And in subsequent videos, I will go over why all this, and some of the physiological components, why all this works to bring the body into calmness, which then brings the mind into calmness. But for now, this is just my introduction to streaming consciousness. I will be sitting mostly in the space of transparency. So in this space of transparency, what comes through is what needs to come through from the highest of the awarenesses that I know of. And so, and I'm just sharing it. That's all. So welcome. So good to be here. And please subscribe, like, comment, give me ideas. What do you want to hear about? Bye-bye.